All right. Welcome to the Blazing Pucks podcast.
Oh, shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Victor Manuel.
And I am your other host, Carmichael Manfredi. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining our very first live stream here on the Blazing Pucks, the Canucks podcast you listen to when your kids are not around.
Absolutely, because we're fucking degenerates. Listen to 650 when you're dropping them off to school, coming back home from work. Listen to us when you have a nice glass of whiskey or whatever your fucking floats your boat. Beer, bud, fuck it. How are you doing, bro?
I am doing great, brother. Oh, what a crazy last few days the city of Vancouver has had here. We've had a fucking monsoon. So
Yep.
to everybody, all of our listeners that are actually in the city, I hope you guys stayed safe. How are you doing?
Great. Yes. Please stay safe. This atmospheric river is fucked. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in my modern life, like memory of floods like this. I mean, excluding obviously the Abbots for one, but it's just like sprinkled around, North Van, West Van. It's nuts, dude. Beyond that, though, vibing and surviving, baby. You know the drill.
Vibing and surviving, my friend. Absolutely. And speaking of which, looks like the Canucks are vibing and thriving right now, hey?
They are definitely vibing and thriving. Is it still 4-2 from what I last saw?
That is correct. 4-2. End of the second period as we speak right now. Danton Heinen with 2 Genos. Yeah, it's looking good, guys. They got to close this one out, though. Still not over.
Yeah, still not over. We still can't get too ahead of ourselves because I feel like NHL has already proven that no lead is safe.
That's correct. No lead is safe, and I feel like the boys really learned that in the first game of the season, didn't they?
Oh, I know. We've already dissolved that pain from last episode. But let's talk about the cool shit that we're gonna get into on this episode here for 63. First thing, Carm, we're gonna definitely have to get into Canucks' new love found boy, our homie Kiefer Sherwood.
That's right. Yes, Kiefer Sherwood. Definitely going to go over today. We're also going to get into Tyler Myers, his 1000th game, and that crazy, beautiful assist that he had. Got to talk about the Myers. Got to talk about that chaotic giraffe.
Yes, and then after that, we got to talk about the reason why this is even called Honey, I Blanked the Flyers. Kevin Blankinen, the motherfucking wall, who honestly right now is definitely... Thank you, goalie gods, right now for the Canucks.
That's right.
And then last, what are we going to talk about here, Carm?
Last one. I mean, we got to get into JT Miller, Mr.
Yeah.
OT, potential injury scare. We're going to get into all that good stuff. But should we get this show on the road?
Let's get this fucking show on the road, baby.
Woo!
All right. Kiefer fucking Sherwood.
Oh man, I'm like starting to really love this guy. Holy shit! Like he's relentless, man.
I love also that he has a hardcore chippiness to his game. You saw it all over in that Flyers game with him going up against Konechny. Dude, man, I don't even know how to kind of get into his game and how it's showing up so far for the Canucks. Shout out to Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes straight up. But like he's just, and I don't know about you, man. I love the fact that he's wearing number 44 too. I think that's so perfect.
Dude, I didn't even picture that, to be honest with you, man. That's pretty funny.
It's fitting, right?
Super fitting. Like literally, you know what? I think it's funny that who did you call when we did our Step Brothers and like the movie reference episode? You said Sherwood and somebody, and I remember that.
And Hughes. Sherwood and Hughes.
Curveball, and that looks like it could be the case here by the end of the season.
It's starting to make more sense as the season goes along, right?
Even as we see, from what I saw in the first period with Chicago, Hughes was getting deployed with Sherwood and freaking Bluger and Heinen's line. I mean, they contributed to 2 goals, and I'm pretty sure Quinn Hughes got +2 on both of those. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you know what? Let me fact check you here. But
I thought you weren't supposed to fact check me. What the fuck?
supposed to keep you honest.
Keep you in line, buddy.
That's right. No, we got Danton Heinen. No, I mean Sherwood got 2 points. Hughes just got the 1.
Okay, so he's just
that was on Miller's goal, actually.
Oh, okay, then I'll just go fuck myself with my statement.
Yeah, you should go fuck yourself. You suck.
Is it that way or that way? I really don't know.
Oh, who fucking knows? What I do want to know is what in God's name did Sherwood say to Konechny? Because did you see the play?
Yeah,
he just like skates behind him. He like whispers some like fucking 50 shades of gray shit into his ear. And then Konechny just starts throwing bombs. Like, what did he say? Like, I'm going to fuck your sister or something? Like, I wonder.
I know what it feels. I don't know. I know what it's like to taste the rainbow. Some stupid shit like that.
But then he's like opening fire. And Sherwood's just cheesing. Like, the whole time he's just straight cheesing. Like, oh, shit, I almost knocked my mic over.
I don't know. Maybe just like thing like your mom isn't as loose as your fucking defense.
See, that would have been brilliant. That would have been so good. It had to have been something like that. But I mean, he's been as advertised, though.
Well, he is coming as advertised because I mean, genuinely preseason, once we signed him, our expectations was all right. He's going to be a physical guy, bottom 6, lay the body, knows how to play gritty. And pretty much just kind of do his job. At least that's what I knew. Mind you, when I first heard his name, I definitely thought he was like a BMX fucking X Games specialist. He's not a kind of name for that. But, you know, he shows that, you know, given with some good line mates and an opportunity, since Tockett's the kind of coach where like, hey, if you're earning your minutes, I'm going to fucking give you more minutes, right?
Exactly.
I like the kind of tools and assets potential that Kiefer Sherwood. He could be a great. Thought he was bottom 6. He definitely is a really solid middle 9 guy.
Yeah, middle 9 I think is a lot. Yeah, 100%. Right. He's like a Swiss Army knife. You can put him wherever, and he just immediately injects energy into the line. That's what I really like about him, and I like that. I feel like him and Bluger can really work some magic together. Like, it seems like they're working out really well.
Well, that's the duo right now.
100%.
It seems like, of course, the theme with how the Canucks are structuring their lines and they're trying to build around them is keeping duos intact. You know, we see it. Miller Besser. Right now, it looks like Petey Höglander is like the duo from last season moving over. And then, Bluger and Sherwood, that'd be sick. Because then if Garland can just staple himself well with Höglander and Pettersson, though I'm not crazy about that for long term.
Me neither.
But Dakota Joshua coming back, and then,
that was my next point.
Oof, I think
what happens? Okay, that was going to be one of the questions I wanted to ask you. How would you feel about a Garland, Pettersson, and Joshua line?
If that doesn't get Petey going, I don't fucking know what will.
Honestly,
I genuinely don't.
I mean, okay, on the Petey front, since we brought it up here, I don't think he's been terrible personally. No. He hasn't been his, obviously hasn't been 100% Petey. But let's be real here. Who on the Canucks has lately? I mean, Garland, sure, Garland's been going. Definitely Kevin Blankinen. He's been like, he's been killing it. But at the same time, like, I'm seeing a lot of great. I mean, on his assist tonight, even, right? Yeah, wins it in front of the net, and he's being a shit. He's laying the body.
The thing I really like to see, so I'm enjoying. Let me clarify that I'm enjoying to see so far with Pettersson's development is that you can tell he's really trying to drive play or do those type of plays where he's like handling the puck and finding space and trying to create something out of nothing, because that's why Pettersson was nicknamed the alien for us for a while, because that man just fucking, I know for whatever way you want to spin it, but that man on his on ice play, he always made something out of nothing. That's what was pretty magical about Pettersson in his rookie years and his first few years with us. He made something out of nothing. You know which one I think of? I think of the time where it was, I guess, against the Golden Knights, where Petey was literally like tripping and falling, does the fucking no look back pass to Besser, who just freaking snipes it in. Do you remember that play?
I remember. I know exactly which play you're talking about, and that was in the playoffs, right?
No, that was just a regular season one.
Oh, why did I think that was in the playoffs? Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
that's the PD that we're used to, though. You're absolutely right. Right, the
Mm-hmm.
guy that he drives play, and when you think that he can't make something happen, all of a sudden your team's up 2-0, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Like, remember that? He was last season, right? When he was going down, it was Madison Square Garden when he was in New York.
Yeah.
Right? And he like pulled it right in behind, I think it was Shitster that was in net. It had to have been Shitster.
Yeah, it was.
And then pulls it right, but like that's a fucking hard thing to do when you're skating and can't stop. Oh man, it was just incredible. So I agree with you. That's the Pettersson that we're used to.
Yes.
Progressively he's getting better though.
Yeah, clearly. I'm starting to think there is obviously, I would give him the benefit of the doubt that the tendonitis and just in general, there's some aches that I feel like just don't go away. And you got to learn how to play through. I mean, that's potentially what might happen with Demko. But overall, we know a good chunk of his performance lately has been mental.
Yes.
So to see him at least put in the effort, throw the body, try to do what he can to create something, it's good to see. I just don't think that we should be dropping the bar for him at any point, given the fact that unfortunately, the value of 11.6 per million, year 1 of 8, we're gonna need you have a certain bar.
100%.
And yeah, I just want to see Pettersson get to that bar and get there on a consistent level.
Yeah, because I mean, that is really what's make like the difference between the Canucks and the Canucks as a contender.
Yeah, big time.
That's really the difference, right? So we do need to get him going. Good news is, I mean, we're 6 games into the season, something like that.
Yeah, something on it.
So still super early. He's got some time to figure it out, and I mean, there's a lot of new guys in the team too who are figuring it out. So it hits both, but.
For sure. To bring it back then to the original player of the topic of
segment, jeez.
Because I know that's our tangents and I fucking love it. I think that would be a great line, Dakota Joshua. Now let's just do it for fun. Do you think Sherwood could give PD a boost?
Yeah, I think he could. I mean, he's
physicality and like grit presence, and then maybe someone who's skilled or can shoot, plays on the other wing, either Höglander, maybe Sprong if he cleans up.
I was thinking Sprong personally. Because I mean, you got Petey who, when he's playing good, he's a magician. He can set plays up, and then you got Sherwood who's going to go to the dirty areas. And the reason that I think Sherwood would really inject some energy into Pettersson is just because he's of his relentlessness. Right, the guy just does not matter. The play's never dead to Sherwood. Doesn't matter. As long as that whistle doesn't go, that play is not dead, and he's fucking coming for you.
100%. Actually, the fact that you mentioned that with the second Heinen's second goal, the offside coaches challenge.
That's exactly right.
Smart enough to tag himself out and then freaking get tag back in to make it onside. That's a lot of good hockey IQ there. That's not an easy play to make in the moment or an easy read to have. So I think the hockey IQ of Kiefer Sherwood, if he continues to just stay on a steady, consistent path with his, performance, he could be a good boost to Pettersson's line, and maybe they can connect with the hockey IQ, because that's also PD's biggest skill set that isn't seen on the isn't like physical hand skills. It's his mental hockey IQ.
Exactly, because right now he's mentally blocked. Right, he needs some mental X-lax. Okay, he's got to fucking clear that shit. He's got to take that dump. Right, so Sherwood is like the X-lax of X-laxes when it comes to something to just free you up like that. And I think at least it'd be worth trying. Right, I don't know if it was something that I would like long term. Probably not. But I definitely think that's something that you can use to at least kickstart Pettersson. Right.
Yeah, 100%. At this point, I don't know about you if you're seeing this, but it seems like Rick Tocchet doesn't have much patience to let a line run for a bit. And if it's not working, he switches things up pretty quickly.
He puts the blender on way too soon, personally.
Yeah, you know what? The person who I had an issue with that in Canucks history was Travis Green, and he's basically on that level right now of like blending the lineups too quickly.
Way too quickly.
But you know what? He's a fucking NHL coach. We're just two fucking shitheads right now on a
What
podcast.
the fuck do we know, you know?
Yeah, like we're armchair fucking, you know, coaches. So who exactly? But a little too much for my liking. Let the players, you know, let the stew fucking cook up, you know?
Exactly. Couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah. And speaking of cooking up right now, I think it'd be a good time to maybe switch up to Tyler Myers and how he cooked. What you think?
I think it's a great time.
Yeah, I think before that, though, we got to get into a word from our sponsors here. Let's talk about freaking DraftKings because the quest for the Stanley Cup starts now. The puck's dropping on the 24-25 season. Get in on all the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. It's super easy for first-timers to get started. You can just try betting on something simple like freaking picking which team to win, which is the money line. You know, you want to usually plus odds are underdogs, minus odds are usually the favorite. So it's just simple as going to DraftKings, the sportsbook app, and then just placing your first bet there. And if you're new to DraftKings, then listen up because new customers that bet $5 get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. Ready? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/ice. Boom.
Dude, you said that. Well done, by the way. But you sounded like that like voice at the end of the Cialis commercials, like not to be used with heart conditions. Right at the end of this fucking speeds through.
That's literally what I'm trying to go for with that too. Because I'm like, yo,
that was well done. That's exactly what I was picturing. Like I could see the old couple smiling with the frisbee in their hand, and I'm like, I know what you're gonna do later, you know.
Oh jeez. Fuck with that. That's awesome. Perfect. All right. So we're talking about cooking. Chef Myers' 1000th game in the NHL, where we blanked out the fucking Flyers. Let's talk about Mizey though, man. I mean, I'm still amazed, and I'll never get over how quick of a turnaround this fan base has had towards him from being public enemy number one at times to we're very happy to have him there, even if he'll still have his Myers chaos giraffe blunder. You know, he brings a lot of heart and soul to the team, and he's a leader.
He really does, and I definitely underestimated his value to the team. Even I think he was even valuable like in the dressing room with the boys well before Tocchet showed up, right? But these are things that we don't see necessarily because I mean we're just watching the games, right? Let's be real.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a crazy turnaround, especially like we're such a dickhead fan base sometimes. Like listeners, you guys can definitely attest to it. I've been a dickhead fan. I'm still a dickhead fan sometimes, right? It's just how it is. But to change our minds and to have like, and he really won us over last playoffs, right? This is before he was even on the good, you know, lower contract that he has now.
Mm-hmm. You know, Reddit actually reminded me of the thing that really won me over, and I think majority of the fan base over, was when he laid the fuck out of Duncan Keith when he was a member of the Oilers. And like scrapped the shit out of it.
I forgot about that.
I think it was during the season when we blew the opening game real hard against Edmonton, where we like won the first period. Well, basically similar a la fucking this season.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I know exactly which game you're talking about. Not like Canucks had a fucking tailspin after that, but that was the game. Oh man, I forgot that happened. Thank you for the reminder. I'm gonna watch that after we record here.
Yeah, I saw it on fucking Reddit, dude, and I was like, yes, I do remember seeing that when I was like bartending at a BP, and I just saw it on the screen. And I was just like, fuck yeah, dude, he had it coming.
Fuck yeah, he had it coming, dude. And you know what I found out the other day too. You know who Tyler Myers beat out for the Calder Trophy?
Who?
Dude, Matt Duchene. And he beat out Jimmy Howard from Detroit. Remember the Tendy?
Oh, fuck. I totally forgot about Jimmy.
See, that's exactly why I brought him up, because I completely forgot that guy even existed. The slick lettuce flow, the slick back. Oh, it looked unreal.
Dude, I thought Chris Osgood was still their goalie. What the fuck?
Yeah, Sergei Fedorov's still doing things over there, right?
Yeah, straight up, dude. Fucking the Yzer plan is him get fucking student up now.
That's the whole time. Shit. Yzerman's just been taking like fucking kits at GH, just getting himself all juiced up, ready to go.
He's gonna Yzerman inside him.
Oh man, you play now.
Now. Okay, let's bring it back to fucking Tyler Myers, though. You know what we got to talk about? We got to talk about that beauty fucking assist that he had and the thing that happened after. So let's talk about the assist, though. Fucking without even looking, he was driving to the net. Then all of a sudden, there's the scramble. Fucking no look behind pass. Besser's there to sweep it up and get the goal. Besser then lets him go first. What do you think that says about the team culture and the fucking closest of that group, bro?
Oh man, I think it says everything, right? Like Besser got the bingo, right? But it was Myers' 1,000th game. Like they made shirts of Tyler. I can't remember. I couldn't find what they actually said, but I know they all made like shirts within the team to celebrate his 1,000th game. Like there was a whole that's actually a really good point, right? That really speaks to the culture of the dressing room. And I mean that 3-0 Philly game too, right? Like that was a big win for the boys. They needed that one.
Big time, dude. Especially after losing such a what looked like a winnable game, but in shootout against them earlier.
Yeah.
It was a nice vindication,
Vindication indeed. Vindication. But on top of the assist, good old Captain Holt. RIP.
Yes.
Did you say it at the same time?
Literally.
Yeah, fuck
go
you.
Fuck yourself.
Jinx again, you fucking dick. Anyway, bringing it back to Tyler Myers here. Yeah, dude, he led all Canucks with time on ice too with that last game, 22-30. In his 1,000th game. Like when is somebody not named Quinn Hughes not number one?
True. That is true. And the weird thing is, ironically, Tyler Myers, when given too much minutes in the past, has always fumbled with them. And
that was always the problem.
Yeah.
With Tyler Myers, at least. That was always the issue with Tyler Myers. He was too high up in the lineup for what he's capable of. And when he was like a second pairing, maybe third pairing, whatever, then he was great. But leading time on ice and having the game that he did, like, fuck me, man.
Says a lot.
It really does say a lot. It makes me a lot more curious to see Desharnais' progression over the year, too.
For sure, because now we're kind of starting to see it that, he is a little bit of a project.
A little bit. He's a big motherfucker, man. He's a huge project.
Yeah, huge project. Fucking get the whole big fucking picture right there. But, I think they're capable of doing something and helping Desharnais refine his game, just like they were able to with Tyler Myers. I just think because Myers obviously has cooked in the league a little longer, he's been around that's probably why it was easier. Maybe with Desharnais, still could be another like 2-3 years. Who knows?
True.
Who knows? But with Myers, though, I genuinely think this team is a lot better with him, even if the on-ice product has its blunders and moments with him.
Yeah, indeed. And I mean, like, the on-ice blunders, a lot of the times as the year goes on, you start tightening those up, right? Like, I'm sure JT Miller he's made some questionable. He's obviously not been at 100% either. We'll get into that a little bit later on, obviously too. But these things as the year goes on, they tighten up, right? Myers is able to tighten up last year and be really solid force for us in the playoffs. So I'm curious to see if he could build on that. If he maintains the same level, I'm happy as a fan, right? But I'm curious to see if Talkett's going to push those buttons and see if he can, it's perfect examples with Besser, right? Like, yeah, Besser, you hit 40 goals finally, but you took your foot off the gas, and I thought you could have hit 50, which, like, brass balls thing for fucking Alvin to say, by the way, right?
100%.
Like, bad. I respect the fuck out of that, number one. But I feel like that's something that they could potentially do with Myers, too. It's like, hey, listen, you had a great season last year, but build on it. Be better.
Yeah. Well, in the end, they're there to build a winning culture. They've said that since day one. And this is what winning culture needs to do sometimes. You need to keep setting a new bar, pushing this, like building a strong standard, and then constantly trying to grow and build from it.
Exactly.
Right? And I respect the fuck out of that. It's going to take time, and there's going to be difficult periods throughout it. There's always adversity in the journey to greatness, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right.
But speaking of greatness and switching it over, Kevin fucking Blankinen. We got to talk about him when we're speaking of that Philly game. 3-0 shutout. Fuck, what do you think, bro?
I mean, is it safe to say that he's our starter now?
Yes.
Right?
He's earned it. He's at least
I think he's earned it.
Starts.
100%. 100%. And I thought it was really interesting him starting today actually. I thought that was really interesting because that was a clear indication that he's the starter, in my opinion, because now Sheloves is not going to play for at least over a week.
That is true. Yeah, you know what? I think given with the shaky start that we had for the first two games, Tocchet knows that the boys play better and more comfortable when they know that they can have a goaltender that can make the saves they need to make. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Artie. Obviously, he's still young. He's still progressing. Lankinen's got 5 years on him.
Exactly.
But Artie's definitely got an exposed area in his game with the long shots, and that's something Lankinen is able to take care of. Plus a little bit more, actually.
Yeah, honestly, he's been and it's once again Alvin and Rutherford just cooking shit up over here in Vancouver. Like, they waited this guy out. Like, they had the balls. They had the fucking balls to wait this fucking guy out.
You gotta finish your point the rest of that fucking voice, please.
All right, no problem. Vinny will come out for this one.
Yeah, okay.
They waited this fucking guy out, and he's playing brass balls with him at the fucking counter, telling me, hey, listen, I'm only gonna pay you under $1 million, even though you wanted fucking $2 million. All of a sudden, next thing you know, he's in Vancouver for $900K or something like that. Do you believe that, Paulie?
How was that?
Yeah, I fucking believe it. Oh, fuck, man. That was beauty. Yeah, I fucking believe it. I can't. No, I'm nowhere near your level, dude. I don't even want to try.
So I've watched The Sopranos too much.
Senor. I agree.
Apúrate.
Apúrate, bro. Yeah, bro. Apúrate, vale.
There we go. Now the balance it's even here. But anyway, bringing it back to Mr. Blankinen over here. It's just it speaks once again to how, I mean, competent's not the right word, how excellent this front office is.
Yeah, and what surprises me the most when it comes to Lankinen's free agency time is that last season, being backup in Nashville, he had some really great numbers. His goals against average, his save percentage for a backup was really solid, which means he went above and beyond in the games of last season. I remember seeing a couple and being like, damn, this guy's pretty solid. So what surprises me is that it took even that long for a team to even hop on and jump on him. Or maybe there were other teams, and if that's the case, which I think it is, the fact that he chose Vancouver out of all.
It's pretty cool.
And a freaking blessing because, I mean, I don't know about you, bro. I have this very unsettling, somber feeling about Demko's health. Of even if we get him back, even if, and I knock on wood because I'd love to see Demko suit up for us again and everything, but I'm barely confident to think that he will come back being the same player. I think it's one of those injuries and they're tight-lipped about it because clearly Canucks have shown that they want to be tight-lipped about if they're playing through shit. They've been
100%. Like
I'm
Miller
worried.
didn't take a draw yet today. 5-2, by the way. I just saw right now.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. 6-2. Never mind.
Double fuck yeah.
Brock Besser from Miller and Hughes, and then Pew Suter got on the board. It just happened, so that had fucking 30 seconds apart. Not even.
See, and dude, these are the games where I feel good now. Because think about this. Maybe like 2-3 seasons ago, bro, playing against Chicago, maybe even in the current state that they're in, I think we would have it could have gone either way.
It would have been a trap game.
It would have. Sure. It would have. But this one, we're like securing the W against a team that we know we should be securing the W and in strong fashion. Like, this feels amazing as a Canuck fan, weirdly enough.
No, I know. And I mean, like, I hear where you're coming from. Because on one end, it's like, oh, you beat Chicago. Fucking bravo. Big whoop. But at the same time, it's like they're beating the teams that they should be beating, right?
Yeah.
Should have got the one against Philly, 100%. The first one, at least. Mm-hmm. But then what do they do? What was their response? They come back with a 3-0 double on the road, right? That's personally, that's the stuff that I'm more interested in. Like, yes, you're going to have a bad game. You're going to have a bad shift. You're going to have a bad maybe 2 or 3 games. Okay, what do you do to respond to that? And the Canucks now, I mean, I think it's safe to say, I mean, there's 8 minutes left in the third. They're up by 4. They come up potentially with 3 straight victories.
Yeah, which is nice because you always want to build a streak. It's always a great way to get on track at any point in the season. My curiosity right now leads to, since the Canucks have gotten all their victories on the road, and we are known now to be, Canadian markets in general are known to be tough. But now that they have ignited the fandom again in the city of Vancouver, do you think it's going to be a little bit more nerve-wracking for them to play at home?
I don't think so. I think this fan base is going to be amped up and ready for the Penguins on Saturday.
For sure.
Yeah, it might be tough.
Don't talk about the players.
Oh, the players. No, that's what I mean. Like, the fan base is going to be amped up. I don't think they're going to be throwing shit on the ice, like jerseys and whatever, like they were before. I think they're going to give them a really good environment, right? They're coming back from 3, potentially, once again, just because I'm superstitious, 3 straight wins, right? Excuse me. 3 straight wins on the road. So they won, 3 out of 4?
Yeah, 3 out of 4.
That's a really good road trip. You come back home from a really good road trip, and you're playing a team in Pittsburgh who, albeit they still got, I mean, they're not what they used to be, but you can't take them lightly. They still got Erik Karlsson, Chris Letang, obviously Crosby and Malkin. Lars Eller is having a fucking wicked season right now.
Yeah.
So, it's I think it's going to be a fairly exciting game because you got a team full of veterans. You got a team like the Canucks who are, they got Stanley Cup aspirations this year. I'd like to see DeBrusk get on the board, personally.
Me too.
Petey too, obviously, but DeBrusk, I mean, quietly been playing well, but I want to see him get on the board.
Yeah, I think the thing too is that, like, we know that DeBrusk is kind of here to be a goal scorer, and bring that element to the team. So, you can tell he's had some really good looks. Even in the first period with Chicago, I know he had a really solid look where he just kind of biffed it on a shot.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel you. We want him to break through. We want, I obviously want the team, to be well received and like maybe not get thrown off by the home crowd's energy. Because the Thursday game against Pittsburgh is going to be sick. By the time when people hear this on the Spotify, but it'll be fucking sick game.
100%. 2 more sleeps when you guys hear this on Spotify, or 2. Where is it? Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 2 sleeps. Fuck.
1 sleep, 2 sleep.
1 sleep. Fuck.
Oh shit.
Oh man, what do you say we segue over to let's get a little bit more in depth with PD and Miller.
Yeah, let's do that.
But first, before we do that, I'm going to read our second ad from our friends over at Game Time, gametime.co. Guys, I cannot wait. NHL season has started. I am ready to get in the building, cheer on the fucking boys, and boo the Leafs because I do want to see the Leafs this year, just to boo them. And when I do that, and as I've done in the past, I will be using gametime.co. Great thing about Game Time, they don't just have tickets for sports. They got tickets for everything that you can imagine, like bringing up Game Time here. Sorry, guys, should have had this up before. Fuck. We got Usher coming to town, actually. That's going to be a pretty cool show. And what I like about Game Time is that they give you seat views. So you know exactly what you're going to be seeing from the seat that you have, as well as all the other good stuff that they got here. Let me just scroll down. They got Game Time picks, curation, makes it easier to save money on sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. All in pricing. So you do have to toggle this one, but the feature shows you the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. Guys, can't stress this enough, how big of a piss off it is to think you have the price and then getting to the end and you're like, where in God's name did this $200 come from? Don't like that shit. Plus, we got seat views as well. The lowest price guarantee. What I love about Game Time, one of the many things I love about Game Time is they show you a little fire emoji when something's a really good deal when you're looking at all the seat views. And to boot, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code THPN for $20 off your purchase. Terms apply. Once again, create an account and redeem code THPN for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game Time.
Hey yo. Oh, nice.
We're doing these live.
That's fucking hilarious. Honestly, I'm digging it. We got to roll with the punches and keep elevating.
Oh, you really do, dude. If fucking Bill Burr can read things live on his podcast, which if you guys haven't heard his podcast before, it's hilarious. But his ad reads are probably my favorite part because he'll read it out and he's like, "Well, that's not fucking true." Just like calls this shit out. It's so funny
in fucking Bill Burr fashion. I love that. But
yeah. But anyway, as much as I'd love to chat about Bill Burr all night because he is hilarious, let's get into PD and Miller. Why don't we start with Miller because we kind of addressed PD a little bit earlier, but looks like he's got something that's ailing him, and the team is having a real tight lip.
Yeah, they're only listing it as upper body. Thankfully, he played. I think this definitely would have been more concerning and a bigger topic if he had to sit out tonight's game. But he only took 2 faceoffs all game against
the Flyers.
Flyers, yeah.
Yeah.
That's no good knowing JT Miller and faceoffs.
Yeah, and how much work he puts into his faceoffs, right? Mm-hmm. That is the thing, and once again, I'm not expecting them to come out and say exactly what's going on because we are dealing with Alvin, Tocchet, and Rutherford here. Just can't expect much. But I mean, the good news is they have from today until Saturday off. They'll also be coming home, so clearly it's not anything that's going to keep him out of the lineup for a long period of time. But hopefully, at least this time period, maybe he can start working on faceoffs again.
Well, what do you suspect it is? That's a thing. Because from when I saw it, it initially could either be a rib. Upper body is vague as fuck. But from what I saw, it was his left hand, or like it looked like that. Could either be a finger, a wrist, maybe a fucking tendon thing, or something with his rib. What do you think?
I mean, I feel like the rib makes sense because like if he's just not taking like faceoffs, then but see the thing is though is like when you look at the goal that he scored today, it was a sharp angle shot pretty much on his offhand. I mean, it was on the right hand side and he still scored it. That would have been a pretty hard thing to do when your ribs aching, which, and, you know, I say it out loud, but it's also JT Miller and this guy's made of iron. Apparently he'll just play through whatever. So it's tough to tell with Miller because I mean, you know, even injured Miller still scores a goal and gets 2 points? Let's see.
Yeah, did you get 2 points tonight?
So you got 1 goal, 1 and 2 assists. And Eric Brandstrom, Arshdeep Baines got assists on Pew Suter's goal too.
Nice.
Another power play goal too. Brock Besser. There we go.
Dude, even Brandstrom freaking hit the crossbar in the first.
Yeah, did you see that shot? Wow. Wow. You know what? Okay, we'll have to get into Brandstrom next week. Yes. First of all, because we're gonna have more of a sample size.
That too.
But so far I've been impressed with him. I like it. I like the game that he plays.
To bring it back to Miller, though,
yes,
I suspected something with the rib too, either rib or wrist. But yeah, it's crazy to think that an injured JT Miller still gets 3 points. He's the heart and soul of this team, if I were to say. But I also have to comment and at least say, out of the toxic fuckery that is the Benning era of the Canucks, outside of drafting, that is probably solely only best decision that I'd say
that
Benning has done. Getting JT Miller, man, worth the first beyond miles at this point.
It wasn't even a first. That was a crazy part. They really only ended up giving a third because the first would have gone to Tampa if the Canucks made the playoffs, but they didn't that year. So all they gave up was a fucking third for JT Miller. Can you imagine that?
That's fucking insane.
That's nuts, dude. And I mean, Tampa couldn't afford him anyway. So I don't think they're really having too much regret. And I mean, fuck, they got 2 cups back to back after they traded him. So they're not crying over there. But I mean, yeah, that was
a win for us, though.
That's a huge W for the boys over here, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, Miller, he's the emotional heartbeat of the team. He's not going to take a night off like this, right? That's just how he's built. Mr. from Ohio, East Palestine, beers and Zans and shooting guns. Like, he's not missing time for that shit.
No.
Also, though, that since we're talking about Miller, if you haven't seen this video, guys, you got to go check it out. The one, you're gonna bring it up too.
Literally, dude. Yep.
Yeah, like the one where JT Miller's wife, I don't know her name, but she's filming. Natalie. There you go.
I don't know Natalie Miller. I
do. She's filming like the game and has her daughters there, and whatever they're chatting, and then Miller scores the goal in Florida, and the fucking both girls just start cheering. Like it was the cutest thing I've ever seen, and your response to it was perfect. JT Miller wins in life.
Yeah, that's literally winning in life, dude.
That really is.
Literally, fuck, man. No better feeling I can imagine than knowing that you got a freaking wife and some girl, your daughter's at home, nice ass house. They're watching dad fucking be a stud.
Exactly.
Or the OT winner. He's literally becoming known. I think that's adding to his nickname repertoire of Mr. OT. He's just fucking nuts in the OT, man.
Dude, he's got 10 OT goals in the time that he's been with Vancouver, and he hasn't even been that long. He's in second place to Daniel Sedin?
Yeah,
16.
Daniel Sedin's is 16, so he's only 6 OT goals away from breaking that. And
isn't that nuts?
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna hold the Canucks record. That's fucking incredible. From arguably one of the best Canucks of all time in Daniel Sedin.
Yeah, absolutely.
I say arguably, but it's really not that arguably.
Nah,
it's the Sedin twins.
Sedin twins for sure, bro. They definitely earned a shitload. I mean, they're Hall of Famers, dude.
Yeah.
So
their jerseys are retired. They're beauties. Not much to go too much into it, but yeah, that's and that's pretty much it. All we can really do with regards to Miller is kind of speculate at this point.
Yeah, I'm worried because I remember. I don't know if you remember one of the earlier episodes preseason, but I had a gut prediction and feeling that Miller was potentially going to get injured some point in the season.
Oh yeah, I do remember you saying that, and I got
So when that hand thing happened, I'm like, fuck. So knocking on wood, dodged a quick bullet there, but yeah, hopefully Millsy stay healthy. We already chatted about PD. Get there, just keep pushing, buddy. The city's rooting for you, man.
Dude, the whole city really is rooting for PD, right? But I mean, we know what he's capable of, and I think really after last year, we're seeing a younger fan base a little bit more.
Yeah.
So the young ones tend to have a lot more empathy than us millennials. So I'm hoping that kind of continues onward because we're starved for a cup, but at the same time, we can't keep running these guys out of town and then blaming it on the media because a lot of the times it is the fans. But anyway,
That's the
nevertheless,
toxicity of the fan base.
that is just the fucking toxicity of toxicity of the fan base. One more thing I did want to note today. What is it? Computer program said that the Canucks were the best looking team in the NHL. And to that, I say, fucking rights.
All right, let's fucking go. A stat that I didn't know I needed to care about when it comes to Canucks fucking winning in that one, eh?
Exactly. And
We're
you know
sexy,
who?
baby, let's go.
Let's go. Let's fucking go. And you know who they said it was the best looking?
Was it Neil Zaman? Was that why they were that whole fucking
Neil
Zoolander
Zaman.
thing on Sportsnet?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the
Like,
Zoolander.
Like he immediately, they just gotta call him 007 now. I feel like that's his nickname.
Straight up fucking Calvin Klein model.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, fucking hey, let's plan the parade for that at least. If while we plan for the real parade.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, if the Canucks win the cup this year, Neil Zaman has to hold the cup, like hold it up like this with his fucking just in his ginch, just in his moutons or underwear. Said about 3 different ways.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious, bro. I love it. Well, I think this is a great time to wrap up the show. Looking at the time here, what do you think, bro?
I think it is a great time to wrap up the show, guys. For those of you, if you join live, great to hear from you. Thanks for joining our podcast here. If you do like the podcast, you can follow us at The Blazing Pucks on Instagram, also on X/Twitter at The Blazing Pucks. Now, Victor, what can they do if they really like the podcast?
Well, if you really like the podcast, well, you can do a couple things. First and foremost, please give us a 5-star on Spotify. Set up auto downloads or Apple, wherever you're listening to us. Give us a 5-star review. And the second thing you can do, hit us up on Twitter or Instagram, like Car mentioned, at The Blazing Pucks. Send us a DM, any questions. We definitely want to hear from you. Love to get some feedback on this. And as always, we're grateful each and every week for our listeners to tune in. As the season goes on, go Canucks, go, and Carm in Blazing Pucks fashion.
Much love.
And go fuck yourself.